Welcome one and all to the Pirate Podcast, starring your two favorite piratey boys, Blackbeard and his trustful sidekick, the Sparrow!
What's cracking, slime?
I just love singing that.
I want you to know we are on the cusp of greatness.
So yeah, first of all, let's get into it real quick. I'm gonna welcome to the Pirate Podcast. This is the Sparrow, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Blackbeard.
Yar, matey.
Yar, matey. So just so everyone's aware, I don't know what's going on, but we started off last week's episode, I think, at 26 subscribers.
This is crazy. This is beyond my wildest dreams. We're at 99 subs right now, buddy.
Yeah, we're about to go into the triple digits.
If we pop off on triple digits, we'll have to celebrate either this pod or next pod. But, you know, everything's been good, bud. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
100%. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Why are you here? You know why I'm here.
You know why.
I want you to know that, like, that philosophy is the only thing that keeps me from blowing my brains out.
That's
sometimes.
fair. We've had plus 75 subscribers since last week.
This is my real job.
This is the real job. And apparently, thank you to everybody that's listening, because we're growing exponentially every single day.
Yeah, well, share it with your friends.
Yeah,
you know?
please, please share with your friends, like, subscribe, and, we're going to keep growing. We're going to get bigger.
Hit the bell on the deck.
Hit the bell on the deck. Let's take a look here.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of crazy stuff going on with work. That's the last thing I want to talk about right now. But let's talk about being allowed to be mad.
Yeah.
I want everyone to know that sometimes sharing your frustration is the worst thing to do. Because I don't know about me. I've always been told my whole life, my adult life, that you need to vent your problems out.
Right.
And I think what you really need to do is you need to sleep your problems out. My problems go away after I sleep. If I sleep, whatever's going on in my brain, my dream seems to be able to analyze the situation and solve it.
Right, that's fair.
Do you ever wake up I'm not upset anymore?
Yeah, all the time. So here's the deal. I think that's me 99% of the time, just like our 99 subscribers right now. Please like that. And comment. Yeah. No, when I'm really upset, I need a solid day. I need a solid day to get my shit together, and I'll go to bed, I'll process in the night, and go from there. You know what I'm saying? So
100%. I think honestly, bro, male venting is interesting.
So here's the thing. It's all fucking bullshit. So I believe that they tell us all the time that men should be able to vent and complain and talk about our feelings, but nobody wants to actually listen.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah. And
if you do find someone that listens, how often do you just get more mad?
Well, here's the thing though. Just go full transparency. Me and my wife have got into this because I just deal with my own shit and whatever. It's not a big deal.
Sure.
And she's like, you need to be able to talk to me more. And I'm like, all right. So then when I try to open up to her, she's just like, yeah, I don't want to listen to this. And I'm like, well, that's fine.
My wife, fucking outstanding. And so this is not sexist. I want to outline that first. I mean that not in a joking way.
Right.
I don't think women are equipped to handle men problems.
No, they're not.
But we can't live without, women take care of us, right? Mm-hmm. There's so many beneficial things women do. So I'm not downplaying women. I think women and men have they're equal in different ways, right?
Correct.
But what I'm about to say is I think men can listen to their wife's problems and immediately know the solution.
Yes, we're
right?
problem solvers.
We're problem solvers, where they just want to talk about how they feel. So when we, as men, come to our wives and we explain the situation, we're expecting a resolution. And when we're not given a resolution, we're like, well, now I'm just more mad by thinking about this, and you didn't help me solve my problem.
Correct.
And now I feel vulnerable for no reason.
Uh-huh.
There's no benefit for me to feel vulnerable. it didn't really. I didn't release anything. I don't know about you, bud, but for me, if I'm frustrated and I talk about it, it just gets me more frustrated.
Because here's the thing. I think as men, we have this superpower that a lot of women don't have. You know what that superpower is? I think we have the ability to get over things.
Yes, we don't need to talk about it. We just need to let it kind of forgive and forget.
Right, it's just whatever. We learn to deal with things. Like, if something happens that's... and not all the time. I'm not going to say it's an every time occurrence, but if there's something that happens that we're just upset about, sometimes it's just like, we just need to process that thing in our head, and then we go, okay, is it really that big of a fucking deal? And then move on. Right. Versus, I think women kind of like, they'll fester on that shit. They'll be like, no, I need to get this off my chest and get someone else's opinion and go from there.
100%. I think for them, they that's how they release.
I'm just gonna keep refreshing this.
No, I know that's what you're doing right now. I'm totally okay with it. I think for them, that's their release. For us, for me, I feel like all I'm doing is moving the water from one bucket to another bucket. Yeah. And I still have that water. The only way for me to evaporate that water is create a heating mechanism to evaporate it. For women, I think it's they have a bucket, they just dump the water.
That's actually not a bad way to look at it. Yeah. I think that makes complete and total sense to me.
I deal with my problems by evaporating the water but I think women dump the water out. And I'm not saying one way is better than the other way. I'm just saying that's how I deal with my emotions. But basically I want to say it's okay to be mad and not talk about it. I think sometimes I am less constructive when I vent. Do you agree?
I agree with that.
I think that if I just feel it, and I could really experience that pain, and I don't trauma dump it onto someone else, then it's more valuable to me. I can learn from that, right? Yeah. I can use that as an opportunity to say, I don't ever want to feel this way again. But if I just vent it, and all it does is it just the wound just opens back up at a later time. I never actually dealt with it, and it almost becomes worse.
I think that makes complete and total sense.
So.
Well, I'm going to break down some analytics, buddy.
Sure.
So, because we're not quite there. We're at 99 still. In the last, what is this? Last 4 weeks. Almost, we had 100 and something views. Only on our new long-term content, too. Pretty solid.
Really? That's good. That's where we want viewership.
Almost all of it is new viewers.
Really?
Yeah, so we're just growing exponentially right now. Unique viewers, we have 188% or 138 new unique viewers. Let's see here. Plus 80 subscribers in the last 4 weeks. So that's what's up. In the last 4 weeks, our age demographic, want to take a guess?
18 to 25?
Close. For 18 to 24 is 0%.
Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Wow, we have older listeners.
So our bread and butter let me.
This is actually so fucking funny.
I know, I love it. I love looking at this. So in the last, let's go last 90 days. Okay. Last 90 days, we had 22% of our audience is 18 to 24. 46% is 25 to 34. 18 to 24. 25 to 34 is 46%. Okay. 35 to 44 is 24%.
Wow, wild.
45 to 54 is 8%.
But we have none of the supers. The Zoomer bracket is empty.
Exactly, nothing.
Wow, we have Gen
13
Z,
to 17, 0%.
No Gen X. No Gen Z.
No over 55 and no under 18. And then so now moving into the last 4 weeks. 100% of our viewership is in that 25 to 34 range.
That's our bread and butter.
That's our bread. That's us.
That's us. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about content.
The most relatable.
That's so interesting. We have to figure out how to get the young crew members.
In the last 90 days, we had a 90-10 female-male split.
Well, that's indicative of YouTube, though.
But in the last 4 weeks, 100% male.
That 10% was like, nah.
They said we can't do it.
No. Well, YouTube is primarily male.
Of course, yes. I get that.
Social media is primarily female dominated.
It's definitely Tumblr.
Yeah, 100 Tumblr, yeah.
Geographical, last 90 days, we had 70% U.S. 2% Canada, 1% Australia, 1% Brazil, 1% United Kingdoms, and I'm assuming Turkiye is Turkey.
What the fuck? Let me see. Oh, they changed their spelling. Yeah, that's Turkey. They changed their spelling.
They changed their spelling?
Yeah, they didn't want the Western spelling of Turkey. They wanted how it would be spelled.
So
let's look this up.
So
when did they change the spelling of Turkey?
That's interesting, but 2.9%. So check this out though. So if I come into here and I go to let's just go last 7 days. 32% of our viewers is coming from Turkey.
Oh, I had a Turkish neighbor once. That's super interesting. Wow, much respect, much love to Turkey.
Yeah, I love it.
They changed it in 2021.
We just have a large following in Turkey for some reason.
No, I love it. First of all, Turkey is very interesting. You want to know why Turkey's super interesting? Is because Turkey is on the cusp of Eastern European and the most Western version of the Middle East.
We're also even 50-50 on views for subscribers to the unsubscribed.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, we're right in the
To all my Turkish brethren, sub up.
Yeah, please. Hey, share this with people that you know in Turkey. I love to see it.
I freaking love it.
I just love how we're growing. Like this, let's be honest here. When this first started off, this was a way for me and Blackbeard to just kind of vent and get our feelings across.
100%.
And it's
we needed
growing.
us time. We needed us time.
Yeah, this is us time. We're in the belly of the beast right now.
Yeah, we are in the belly of the beast. On God. This week has been crazy.
This week has been fucking nuts.
I know.
Let's see.
Everyone tells me that I'm having a resting bitch face this week. I'll be honest with me. How upset do I look?
Right now, you don't look upset.
No, but
you're
like
doing
this
your real
week.
job. You look very upset.
Really?
The problem is that I know you, buddy, and everyone knows you, and you're always this bubbly, energetic person.
Like high energy.
Like,
here's the thing. I feel like I should be allowed to be a normal person every once in a blue moon.
Correct, but it freaks people out when you are.
Scares people.
Yeah, because they're like, is this guy about to fucking...
No, I'd never. On God, no. I would never think of that. But I don't want to create any fear. I never want anyone to feel that way, right?
Follow your dreams, that's all I can say.
Even if that dreams lead to a prison cell. I mean, we're pirates for fuck's sake. But my thought process is this, like, yeah, you know what? Sometimes change is necessary, right?
Right.
And you don't have to be happy with it. Here's the thing. I'm going to do whatever change is thrown my way, whether it's work or life or anything. I'm going to deal with it to the best of my ability.
Correct.
I'm not going to give up.
Right.
But I think...
I'm just playing buttons. I'm sorry. Go
ahead. Like that button right there, alert security. No, it says press 2, reset.
Oh.
Anyways,
since it flash and it bothers me.
It was until you fucked with it.
No, it's because this thingy, okay, hold up your side.
Yeah.
The fucking won't do it.
That's we gotta go my OCD. We're not going to go through an OCD where it needs to be one way for you. That's how it was originally. Please, for the love of God. Sparrow. Anyways, my thought process. By the way, that's right at that table every podcast.
I know.
Anyways, so my thought process is like, I think it is the tism. What people fail to realize is like, you're allowed to not be happy with change and still do a good job. You're not expected to love change.
Yeah.
Not everyone though. Not everyone wants to deal with people being unhappy though. But that's just life, right?
Right.
What's even more interesting to me is that if change, you can't ask someone how they feel about change and then be surprised when they say,
no, here's
I'm
the
upset.
thing. Exactly. If someone asks you like, hey, are you doing okay? And you say no, then you can't be like, well, just be okay. And it's like, no, that's not the fucking answer. You have to be able to listen and absorb and take that information in.
Sure, 100%. There's a lot of people out there, but they want to like talk to you and how you feel. Like this is what I've been experiencing this last week. A lot of people have asked me how I feel, and then when I say I don't want to talk about it, they get really pushy. But they don't actually want to know how I feel, and because they get defensive when I explain it.
Yeah, they don't want. It's all make believe.
It's all make believe. But outside of that, I've been really good. I might do jujitsu. I might not. I don't know tonight if I'm gonna do that.
You should do it.
I found a new archery range. Did I tell you about that?
No, you didn't. Where are you going now?
There's one in local in my same town, and I don't even have to get on the highway. I do get on access streets, but I don't even have to get on the highway.
That's awesome.
So nice, dude. And it's free. It's a park. It's free. So now there's no excuses. I can't say I don't want to drive all the way out to Usury. Now I could be like, okay, well, this is right down the road.
So what's the drive time we're talking?
20 minutes, but it's a relaxing 20 minutes. Maybe even 15, but it's not like highway 20 minutes.
But how much does it cost?
Cost to drive?
No, to get there.
From gas?
No, is it free to get in?
It's free to get in.
Oh, that's exciting.
Or usually it's $12.
Yeah, that's cool. That's also exciting.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a walking course, but who fucking cares? It doesn't.
And it's designed for archery specifically.
It's designed for archery specifically.
Nice.
So it's pretty nice. I like it a lot.
Have you taken your wife there yet?
I think I'm gonna.
Mrs. Blackbeard.
I'm gonna take Mrs. Blackbeard because I want to get her into archery so that we have something to do on something. She's having a second interview for this med spa.
That's awesome.
So
dude. I'm proud of her. Make sure you tell her I'm proud of her.
I'm proud of her too. And then she's so funny. She goes, I had an interview for my assistant manager at Goodwill and I fucked it up. I started laughing immediately because I just love pain. Like that's the only
fuck it up.
I was like, how did you fuck it up? She goes, well, I went to the wrong Goodwill, and I was like, oh, what did you call? She goes, oh, I did. And the way she said that, I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't get worse. She goes, yeah, I called the wrong Goodwill, and then I went to the email and they said, oh, it's on this street. So she went and plugged in the new address, went to a Goodwill on the same road in the wrong town. And so she went to the wrong Goodwill, and then she calls the guy after almost sobbing. She goes, I'm just so sorry. She's such a sweetheart. I'm so sorry for almost wasting your time and like wasting your time. I don't think this is going to be a great fit for me.
She just did it to herself.
She just did it to herself. She just basically like, and she goes, this man, bless his heart, he goes, so are you sure you don't want to come in for the interview still? And she goes, that's the guy I'd have to report to. I couldn't do that to him. So she didn't do it. She goes, that was the universe telling me to not work at, and I was like, to be honest with you, like nothing against Goodwill. If any of our listeners work at Goodwill, I just don't think that would be axiomatic to like what her intended skill set is, right?
Right.
She'd be less happy. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel
100%.
it, Mr. Krabs? Anyways, that's kind of, so I'm probably going to go to the archery range, do some jits on the weekend, relax. I'm thinking about painting some Warhammer. Got some paints out. I might do a little bit of painting. Nothing crazy, but outside of that, I'm doing good. How about you, bud?
I'm good, man. So last night I was actually working on a new intro for a new show that we are going to put on the channel.
Of course. Was this your solo?
Yeah, this is a solo video that I'm going to start doing.
We're branching off into ridiculous too.
Right, I love it, and it looks really good. We're working on that. I got to go finish it tonight, but I would like to get an episode out by this weekend on that as well.
What are you reviewing?
So I went and saw the new Evil Dead movie.
You gonna review it?
Yeah, I think so. And then next week is the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I'm gonna do that as well. So just so everyone's aware, it's gonna be called Sparrow's Movie in a Minute.
I love it. 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a 60-second short review.
It's gonna be a short.
It's gonna be a short.
I love it.
Yeah, try to get our short game up.
I don't know why that's so fucking funny. I feel way better after having like my last meeting for the day. Yeah. I feel incredibly charged.
It's also nice to come to our real job.
It's what? One day
I want you to know
I will break down in tears if I can do this full time.
We're on our way, buddy. We are on our way. I just keep checking.
I know.
My goal is...
You're watching a teapot fucking... Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Stop it.
1 second. And we're back. Was that a lot?
Our second job was calling. Interruption.
During that, though, some amazing things happened.
Wild fucking ride during that time.
That was fucking nuts. That was like 30 minutes, by the way.
I want you to know, the entire time I just wanted it to stop so I could go back to this. But it stressed me out.
It was literally 30 minutes.
I want you to know, it stressed me out enough I'm dipping my Black Buffalo.
That's fair.
It's tea leaves.
Yeah, with nicotine.
Yeah, soaked in nicotine.
Yeah. So while we were dealing with our second job, a couple amazing things happened. One, we hit 100 subscribers.
Fuck yeah. We have an armada.
Yes, technically we're in the triple digits. Now, on that note, I also went online to Social Blade. First of all, I just wanted to see if we were even there.
What's Social Blade?
Social Blade is a website to just check things on like YouTube, Instagram, that kind of thing. So check us out. Here we are. We're on socialblade.com.
It added us?
Yeah, it has us. It ranks us as a total grade of a C+.
What does that mean?
I don't know. So I am assuming that's fantastic. It
We're
says
almost B.
in subscriber ranking, we're 15,310th out of all of YouTube.
That seems so little.
That seems really low.
How many YouTube channels do you think have no subscribers?
Dude, apparently, well, think about it. How many YouTube channels do you think there are?
I don't know.
Let's figure it out.
This dip is gonna give me hiccups. That's the problem with dip and me and hot sauce.
Hot sauce?
Here's the thing: the heat never bothers me.
Let's see here. There are 51 million YouTube channels.
Being 15,000 gives me a massive confidence boost.
I love it. But here's the amazing thing. So this website's pretty legit. It tells us per day how much money we're earning. And so right now, we're averaging anywhere between, I know this isn't going to sound like a lot, but we're averaging between a penny and like 20-something cents per day, just in our views.
Wow.
And then I can come over here and I can look up future projections. This is the exciting part that I wanted to show you.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So future projections, it projects in 2 months, we're going to be at 400 subscribers.
I believe it.
It projects that, in 2 months, sorry. In 4 months, 1,000.
What?
6 months, 2,000. Let's get to the exciting part. A year,
Yeah.
10,000.
10,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Okay. 2 years. Just jump to 2 years.
2 years,
Yep.
30,000 subscribers.
What the fuck? That's not enough to quit my job.
Nope, no. And granted, this is just a projection.
3 years.
Okay. 3 years, 80,000 subscribers.
Okay.
4 years, 130,000 subscribers. Now we're talking real thing. 5 years, 200,000 subscribers.
So in 5 years, I can quit my job.
Now, but that's if we stay on the same projection.
I think we can up those numbers.
I think we can easily up those numbers. First of all, that's amazing to me. That it's just that's a projection that we're on right now.
It's wild. How does the algorithm contribute a view if you just click on the video?
I don't know. I just love it. Let's see what it says when we click on similar channel.
What do you think about the belt buckle today, bud?
I love the belt buckle.
I want you to know. You have to share with me when you know information.
Oh no!
So I want our podcast to know.
No!
I want our podcast to know. There's been a little bit of craziness on the ship deck.
No.
A little bit of spice on the
ship deck.
Blackbeard has to know.
Okay.
How am I supposed to steer the ship?
Buddy, I don't want you to get upset. That's the thing.
If that's the real reason,
Yes.
I am emotionally volatile. And I respect that. You just have to look me in the eyes and say, buddy, you're emotionally volatile. And if you say that, I respect it. Because I'm crazy.
You're not crazy.
It's okay if you say I'm crazy.
You're not crazy.
I didn't grow this beard by not being crazy.
That's fair. I just want you to know that I personally am kind of just thinking that, like, all this is fucking...
This is juicing me up, by the way.
I love it. Our second job, all of it's fucking nonsense.
It's a LARP.
Just so everyone's aware, I'm not going to get into specifics or anything here, but Lil Matey, there's some drama with Lil Matey. On top of that, just I'm potentially getting moved to a new team. I'm moving directly into the belly of the beast.
I think it's going to be exciting and fun for you.
I don't know if that's accurate.
I want you to know we don't really talk about our second job on this podcast, but that's as much as we will say.
Correct. That's all I'm dropping there.
And to be fair, it's not my business. At the end of the day, we're still going to be
of course it's our business.
Pirates together. We still operate the same ship.
That's true.
It's okay.
Out in the deep blue.
I want you to know, if anything, it might be more fun this way.
It could be.
It might be more exciting.
It might not be, though.
Don't share anything with me, because I can't handle it.
But you should talk with Lil Matey.
I'll talk with Little Matey. I'll have that conversation. This is quite intriguing. Oh, did you see Biden's running again?
Yeah.
Bro.
I knew that was going to happen, though. I don't understand why.
He is at the legal age, or not the legal age of death. He's at the average life expectancy for a male in the United States. Granted, I understand that he's a waspy politician at a high level. He probably has child organs implanted in him. But still, the guy representing us is all our grandfather.
The problem with Biden is that there's so much video evidence that he's just not all there.
I think America really wants to be ran by the shadow government. Shadow government.
To be fair, I don't think Trump should run either.
No, but he's the lesser of two evils.
I think they're why. First things first. Why are we moving to such an older
dictatorship?
Yeah.
Well, we definitely do have dictators. Do you know why? Because Rome elected older and older leaders as they collapsed. This is indicative of a decaying civilization.
I just don't understand why. In my personal opinion,
because we don't know how to be we can't father ourselves, so we need a paternal figure to father us at the highest level.
That's fair. I just think we need to make especially when we have.
It's because the strong men that could be leading us, there's a generation gap. There's supposed to be strong men and women to be able to lead us in between us and the super old generation, but that doesn't exist because our hedonism has taken us over. We no longer have a backbone. Politicians are all basically lawyers.
Yeah.
And no one trusts lawyers.
No, for sure.
The bureaucracy, in my opinion, is too strong. And America was never designed to have a system of bureaucracy in place. It was always supposed to be light bureaucracy, right?
Right.
And now that we actually never planned on having such a bloat.
Of course not. Well, the problem with it is that people became more and more and more dependent on the government, and to the point where there's certain people in this world that they live off the system, and it should never be that. In my personal opinion, you should. Yes, the government should provide some things to help you get through your life, but you should not be codependent upon it.
The problem is we created this problem, right?
Yes, of course.
Because our empathy took over.
If you're the person that fucking needs food stamps every month in order to eat any kind of food, come on.
My mom. Here's the thing: my mom was on food stamps when I was a child. She needed it, but she got off of it.
That's different, though. It should be a system where, and that's exactly it.
The problem is that requires high intelligence, and I don't think the people that are on food stamps are always the smartest. And it's not their fault. It's because they've.
Whose fault is it then?
No, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, buddy.
Okay.
Do you want my real opinion?
Yes.
Okay, so the people that take handouts of all different creeds, religions, genders, races, all of those people that take handouts, right? Those are the people that vote for handouts, and the people weaponize their virtue and their empathy to that group of people, so they get elected, right? So then they get elected, and then that group of individuals elects them, and then they basically give them the handout so they never can pull themselves up. Because there's never any life or death actual real threat. If there was a real threat, you need to get your life together, they might actually do it. The problem is a lot of people would actually get hurt through that methodology. And we consider ourselves to be a first world country, so we can't let that happen.
Right.
Because we let our pride get in the way. I really think 50 years ago, our pride was different.
Is it sad that I feel like if you take food stamps or anything, it should be accumulated debt?
No, I disagree with that. I just think that it should be harder to get.
That's fair.
I think you should have to...
But do you think people would just try harder to get it? So, for instance, if you make it so that...
Yes, they would. They would, but at the same time, maybe put a limit on it. Hey, you're only going to get food stamps for this.
I agree with that.
This is a time limit for you to get your life together.
That I'm okay with. I'm just afraid that if you tell somebody, hey, if you... Because right now, let's say, if you make less than $30,000 a year, you can qualify for food stamps. I don't know what the real number is, but let's just say that's what it is.
I actually look at it from both perspectives, right?
Uh-huh.
I think that there are super wealthy elite in this country that could take care of those people.
Of course.
But I also don't know if we tax them the right way. I think we need to give them tax cuts
tax cuts.
if they help people. The problem is all we do is take taxes, so
There's too many loopholes for that.
I know. The tax system is just broken.
Well, the problem is, and I saw a whole thing about this. If somebody owes, like, let's say I owe $2 million in taxes, right? I buy a piece of art that's probably worth $5,000, and I buy it for $1 million. And then it's going to cause it to ridiculously appreciate in value. And so then someone will say it's worth $2 million, then I donate it to a charity or something along those lines.
I explained this to you.
No.
Oh, you already knew this?
I already knew this.
Yeah.
You donate it to a charity or something like that, along those lines, and now you get a $2 million tax write-off.
Right, because it's literally reverse inflation.
Correct.
It's inflation of the make-believe.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's all art, bro.
But that's what it is, all art. I agree with you. That dip, by the way, I didn't dip very long, but now I'm like buzzed.
I love it. It's because of the tea.
It's the
caffeine in the brain.
I think there might be caffeine in it. I don't
Insane
know.
in the membrane.
Yeah, but anyways, outside of politics, bud, American politics are weird because on one hand we are the freest nation, but I also think that we don't take advantage of our freedom.
What
Does
do you
that
mean?
make sense?
Elaborate.
I think we are the freest nation, but I think we take it for granted how free we are.
Right.
Everyone else that comes to our country, it's like, wow, you guys are so free. And you guys spit in the face of that freedom.
Of course. People are entitled bitches.
That freedom basically makes people feel entitled.
Because people are entitled
bitches. And they don't understand that it requires all of us to work towards that freedom, and it just takes one dictator to take over. And we don't have enough defense to stop it anymore, I don't think. And I think it's happening very, very slowly. Yeah.
No, because I think the good news with the United States, literally it's going to be fine until somebody passes a thing that says, well, you can run for president 3 times.
It's going to happen.
No, I don't think it will.
World War III, it'll happen.
That's the only way it happens, is if we're in the middle of some kind of global catastrophe and they go, well, you know what, just for safekeepings, we're going to...
What I don't understand is why don't we just link up with China and say, hey, let's split...
We're not linking up with China.
Let's split Russia in half.
We're not linking up with China.
I know.
They hate each other. And China is the opposite of the United States, although China is trying to be more like the United States now.
We're trying to be more like China.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
What do you mean? No, we're not.
Because the way our economy runs is pseudo-capitalism. It's crony capitalism.
Okay.
Right? If real capitalism was in play, when these giant billion-dollar companies fail, we would let them fail.
We should let them fail.
Well, the thought process is if we let them fail, all these people are going to be out of jobs.
Fuck them.
Exactly. So, because if you let them be out of jobs, then they'll go create new jobs.
Correct.
Right? But the problem is that's not how you get elected in this company. Or in this, not this company, but in this
country.
Well, it's not really any different. It's my same premise on executives, bud. The reason that things don't get automated is because an executive is going to do 2 terms and automation will cost billions of dollars and take 10 years to build. Mm-hmm. They're not going to invest in long-term benefits because it doesn't benefit the individual. That's why I'm saying the first company to get executives with AI making decisions is the moment that everything will get automated and a company will wait the 10 years for the payback, and it will pay back in dividends. But human beings need to constantly have mobility in companies, and you need to have quick, fast, easy wins to be able to move up. And it's the exact same with politicians. Humans are hierarchically designed in our nervous system. Mm-hmm. Look at lobsters, Jordan Peterson. But the thought process is we do not collectively look at long term. We individually look at short term wins to benefit ourselves. And that's how politicians operate too. And I don't know what the solution to that is, but I think it's important to outline the real issue to look at to maybe actually start building solutions. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
The problem is we don't automate a lot of things in companies that could be automated because the cost. Right, and you can't spend that much money if it's not going to start paying the company back, or if it's going to start paying the country back in 10 years, because you're going to be in a different job by then. It doesn't matter, and you need that win to move up.
Well, and I already told you that the problem is that, and I completely agree with that, everything you just said. businesses as a whole, in my personal opinion, they don't want the win 10 years from now. They want the win now.
But that's not how wins operate. Our founding fathers understood that they had to set the country up for wins in the future.
Correct, but I'm telling you that
But they were all visionaries.
People don't operate like that anymore. People operated as they want instant gratification.
Do you think this country is too based off individualism and not collect? Like, look at China. China's the exact opposite. China operates in a collective because the country is so old. It's the oldest country in existence.
Look at the fucking people that are just or people that, like, you know,
pry off instant gratification.
Not only just that, but they hate the United States, and it's like, well, if you really hate the United States, just go somewhere else.
It's more complicated. It's hard to leave, especially when you're broke.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Is like they're bitching about it, but it's like, okay,
this is the one country where you can go make money.
Right. Where are you gonna go?
You could go genderfy Southeast Asia.
No one's going to Southeast Asia.
I wouldn't mind. If I had $1 million, I could live out the rest of my days.
That's the problem. You have to have $1 million.
I mean, but $1 million isn't going to carry you in the United States.
No, I think about it actually. So $1 million, and it probably would, just so you know. But the problem is that you would have to live off the interest.
Yeah, you'd have to be able to invest, and most people don't have enough money to invest.
But $1 million, if you went to Southeast Asia, you would, or Southwest Asia.
I would not want to live in Southwest Asia.
Why?
Because that's like India.
Yeah.
No.
You'd be a giant. You'd be fine.
No, I want to live in like Singapore and Vietnam.
But think of all the Patels.
Cebu, the Philippines. Patels. Yeah, their culture is very interesting because they're just starting to get westernized, and I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think a lot of these countries are going to be the superpowers in 100 years from now.
I don't think India will ever be a superpower, just so you're aware.
I disagree with you.
You disagree?
I disagree because I think India is literally Silicon Valley on the global scale. They're going to pop off in the next 50 to 100 years, and they're going to be the tech giants of the future. And I think that's going to be happening in the end of our lifetime, and it's happening so slowly because they're changing. There's a big caste system over in India.
Mm-hmm.
That's still very much integrated in their culture, and they just had a wake-up call when England conquered them.
Right.
And now they're their own country, but there's still a lot of corruption at the political level.
Do you think that the United States will ever, in our lifetime, not be the powerhouse of the world?
I do.
And who do you think will be number one?
I think that China is already a powerhouse.
Do you think? No, I said the powerhouse.
I think India has a potential to be the powerhouse.
You think India over China?
No, I mean China would be. China has always been the lingering powers. We're just a fresh face in the history of mankind.
Right.
And I think that we're not setting ourselves up for long-term greatness when we look at it on such an individual scale. I'm an individualist myself, so it's hard for me to say.
Do you think they make nuclear weapons new every year?
New nuclear weapons every year? What? Which country?
United States.
Yeah, we constantly are testing nuclear.
No, I meant like, so like if we have, let's just say we have 1,000 nukes.
We have more than that.
Let's just say 1,000, just to keep it easy.
Sure.
How often do you think they decommission those and then make new ones?
I don't think they ever decommission them. I just think they move them and tell people they decommission them.
Well, at a certain point, do you think they expire? Like
the radium? Radium does have a half-life.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it only lasts a certain amount of time before it loses its potency.
So do they have to remake it?
I don't think they just remake it, buddy. I think that they increase their stock over time.
They just keep making more.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, when do they get decommissioned then? Because eventually you're going to have a nuke that's just not going to work. And what do you do with that nuke?
I think...
These are the thoughts that haunt my brain.
I don't know. I'm not educated enough on uranium and things like that. I don't know.
And how many hydrogen bombs do we have?
I don't think hydrogen bombs are as powerful as nukes.
They are. I think they're more powerful.
Are they the same thing?
I think they're more powerful.
I don't know, man.
To be honest with you, I'm not a bomb specialist. But
neither am I. I'm really not educated enough.
My brain's a little numb right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's understandable. But this is your real job.
This is my real job.
That being said, yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think that Russia will... Here's the thing is, I think we talked about this in the last pod. I don't think we're going to use intercontinental ballistic missiles anymore to carry nukes. I think if we do, it's going to move the way of satellites where they shoot them down from space. But the problem is you got to get that nuke up there.
So What? I'm sorry. You finish, and then I'll.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they will go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they do, that's a different timeline. If they do, I'd be surprised. Elon starts putting nukes on satellites and putting them over different countries. That's the first country to dominate the globe. And who knows, that it's possible that already exists. I think tactical nukes are the future. Suitcase nukes. Smaller, but easier.
So a suitcase nuke is a nuke that fits inside of a suitcase.
Yeah.
You could just put it down.
Put it on a drone.
Put it on a drone. So just a small package.
Sure.
But huge payoff.
I would not be surprised if every country has tactical nukes in every other country. We're just waiting.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So here's the thing. It'll never be satellite nukes, and Neil deGrasse Tyson explained why.
Why?
So here's the problem with putting nukes on a satellite. It is very inefficient. And what he means by that is, so if my water bottle is Earth, right?
Uh-huh.
Make sure it's not gonna fucking leak all over me. So this is Earth, right? And your twisty tie is the satellite. And I want to bomb.
Okay.
I want to bomb
That part on your water bottle.
Yeah.
The mythosaur.
The mythosaur. I couldn't think of it.
The mythosaur sticker.
Right? I would have to wait until a full rotation in order to drop.
I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because you go with the Earth's orbit. You just shoot it into Earth's orbit and let the orbit slingshot it.
It's
Rocket
still
propelled?
faster to...
Maybe.
It's still faster to shoot from this point of the
Problem
Earth.
solved again. You put 4, so there's constantly a rotation of, or more than 4, right? But it's constantly in rotation. So you have one covering all quadrants of the globe at all times.
But if this is up here and this isn't here, it doesn't do what you think it does.
Well, then there's one on the opposite side is what I'm saying.
I get that. I'm just saying that the Earth's huge. You would have to have thousands.
You're actually probably right. Like I said, I'm not educated enough.
But
probably
I was
right.
trying to break that. Okay?
No, please don't. But the thought process is I think that those tactical nukes are already in place. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I truly believe that.
I do believe that, like, essentially the nuclear conflict is just everyone holding a gun at each other.
The Spider-Man pointing fingers?
Yeah, and we're all just in agreement of I'm not going to be the one that fucks this up.
This is the Office episode.
Exactly.
100% where Dwight... who is it? It's Dwight, Andy, and Michael, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely correct. That being said, yeah, like I said, I think that everyone knows that you can't do that, right?
Right.
So I think that they weren't through subversion and policy measures. But you know what's interesting is how do you think Trump is going to handle Biden in the re-election campaign? Now that all this Hunter Biden laptop has come to fruition, and the FBI 100% concealed it. How do you feel about that now? Do you think Trump's going to be like, I told you so? Or is that just going to make him seem more brain dead?
Here's the problem. I think all politicians are fuckheads.
They are.
Because here's the deal. I think the whole reason they're going after Trump is to make it so that he can't run for president again.
Do you think he's a threat to the deep state? Or do you think he's just a different element of the deep state? Like an internal civil war?
I don't know.
Or do you think it's all just a game being played by different political entities?
I think the answer is that I think there was a level of standards back in the day where, okay, in John McCain.
Oh, McCain.
John McCain was a guy that I think demonstrated this the best. Yes, there were specific things that you could bring up against your opponent and everything, but at the end of the day, you had to respect each other. I think no one respects each other now. And the answer is, how do I just fucking win? How do I make you lose and I win?
Well, that makes America lose.
Exactly. And the whole problem with bipartisan things in general is if we can't meet in the middle, my fucking saying, and I say all the fucking time,
what is a conversation?
What is a conversation? It's I'm here, you're there, we got to meet somewhere in the middle.
100%.
If no one's willing to meet in the middle, then congratulations, we should just split the country in half.
The problem is it would just be the core of the country and then the coasts. That's really what it would be.
Right, and that's fine. I
don't think that's the right way out.
No, it's not. But the answer is everyone needs to stop being so fucking stubborn.
Well, did you hear what? I want to bring this up too. Did you hear that what's his name got fired from Fox.
Tucker
Carlson.
I love that we're on the same page.
And what's the other guy on CNN? Don Lemon, right?
Don Lemon. Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna make a pod?
I would love that.
I think they're gonna do a pod. And you know what? Tucker Carlson actually said a lot of nice things about Don Lemon.
That's crazy too. They should do a pod.
I know. And
Can we have him as guest?
We absolutely should. I think also Tucker Carlson came out and basically said like it's all a sham. Like this is just political. Media is just political control. That's probably why he got fired, bro.
No, Tucker Carlson got fired because there was Fox News got sued because of the voting machines. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
So Fox News got sued like $870 billion. Or not billion, $870 million.
Billion.
Yeah, million with an M. Dollars because they proved that the voting machines were not fake.
Oh, you mean they just fortified the voting machines?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they knew that information was fake and that they continued to say it and they got sued and they lost. So, for damage control, because Tucker Carlson was the one that spoke the most about it.
But he's not actually.
He was the fall guy.
He's not actually talking about politics through like the lens of facts.
I'm not saying
no,
that.
I know.
Yeah,
but what's interesting is what people fail to understand about Fox is that's a lot of what is the word I'm looking for? That's opinion politics.
Correct.
Right. So you're allowed to have an opinion, but I don't think we are. Look at Alex Jones. His take on Sandy Hook was kind of terrible, but the thought process is this. It's opinion politics.
I personally believe that all news is kind of dying.
Right.
You know what I mean by that is look at what me and you are doing right now.
Right.
I think everything is moving towards this.
Opinion politics?
And not even necessarily opinion politics. I'm saying that instead of being a corporate positioned thing,
the media is changing.
Correct. I think the media is now moving towards people get their information, people get their things from the small creator. Or multiple small creators.
Curated news.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, but do you think that we're kind of on the wild, wild west of curated news?
The problem is the only way that you can change that is if you legitimately had a network that came out called U.S. News and apologies.
No one can make any money off that, so it's not going to
Correct. It has to be U.S. News, and it has to be that you have a bipartisan fucking opinion on it, and you just give it the most vanilla. The problem is that no one would watch it because people want opinions. They want to say, well, I believe in this, and I want my opinion to be justified. Either way, left or right, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
People want well, I knew it. I was right the whole time. That's why when you Google something, you can find facts to support both sides on any subject there is.
That's very true. I agree with you.
And it's crazy because at the same time it's like, you look at it and you go, so like for guns, for instance, right? Technically, what the number one way of children under the 18 dying is?
Guns?
School shootings. It's fucking wild. I would have never guessed that in a million years. That is a true statistic. However, you could also look at it and go, almost the most people that die by school shootings, or by, not school shootings specifically, by shootings, almost entirely blue states. All of them.
Yeah. Do you know why?
And those are the states with the most gun control.
It's because states with the most gun control, except for there's one state in the South. There's one state in the South that has really lenient gun control, but they also have one of the, I think it's Louisiana.
Well,
totally.
We don't talk about Louisiana.
Yeah, we don't talk about Louisiana. That's a different type of state.
First of all, there's certain states.
But I agree with you. I think what makes a civilized society is an armed society, and an armed society is civilized, is a polite society, right? So the thought process is this. I think if everyone's armed, everyone knows that if they fuck around, the chance of them finding out is much greater. Look at California, for example. No one is actually stopped. No one will actually do anything about the carjacking, so the carjackings increase.
Mm-hmm. In San Francisco, it's
a massive problem.
It's a massive problem.
It's a massive problem. They'll do it right while you're in the car in stop traffic.
Well, they figured out that they can. First of all, there's a high amount of wealth in San Francisco. On top of that, They've had it down to a science where people wear gloves with like a tiny little tack on just one of the fingers. They can go up, smash the window, get something out of there, and move. Not even necessarily just carjackings, but just stuff getting stolen out of cars.
Smash and grabs.
Smash and grabs.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest problem in San Francisco right now.
But my problem is that if you just armed people in San Francisco, yeah, you're going to have a lot of homicide, but then hear me out.
Yeah.
Because they're going to kill each other over stealing, which you can't do. It has to be a life and death situation, right? But the homicide would increase for maybe a couple months.
And that's the thing.
Theft would go down to zero, and then homicide would stop entirely.
Exactly. I think the problem, and that's the other thing that we have to realize, is that just because something might get spiked because of something for like
doesn't mean that it balances out. It's like an ecosystem.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. You know, same thing if I introduced a predator, a new predator into a system. Yeah, there might be a time where it eats all of the bunnies, but at a specific time, it'll balance out. It's gonna fucking balance out. That's nature.
The problem is if you do nothing, then the ecosystem dies.
Exactly. Well, in the opposite, if you don't add a predator in, the bunnies might keep.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Overproduce.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And then
they'll eat all the
vegetation's
grass, all
gone.
the vegetation's gone.
And then the second the vegetation's gone, now all the bunny dies, and now you have nothing.
Right. Well, actually, then you only have apex predators. Well, then they'll
die off too.
They'll die off too. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that you have to sometimes implement. And here's the thing: like a lot of people just say, "Police the shit out of those places." No, I don't think that that's the right approach. I think you allow people to protect themselves. Police cannot be everywhere at all times.
Well, that's a Ben Shapiro thing. Is you heavily police.
He wants to heavily police. I disagree with Ben.
I disagree with Ben, too.
I think if you give the people the opportunity to defend themselves, I think they will.
Well, personally, and this might be a hot take, I believe, and granted, there's not really a way to enforce this, so don't take this the way that necessarily it's going to come across.
That's exactly how I'm going to take it, bud. I'm just kidding.
If you allow the people to defend themselves, and something does happen, I think that
media will sensationalize it.
No, so like for instance, if you tell people in San Francisco, hey, someone's stealing your property, and you're able to shoot that person, someone's gonna twist it the wrong way.
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying just give them the ability to have basically concealed carry without a license. I'm not saying that they can shoot them. Let those people also go to jail, right? That's not what I'm saying.
I'm kind of saying we should let them shoot them.
No, you can't. You just let them have the guns, and they're going to do what they're going to do.
I didn't say deadly shoot. I just meant like shoot them in the knee.
No, you have to kill someone. They'll sue you. Their family. It's easier. It's better to have a family come after you.
But I'm saying I think the law should be if you're caught in the act of stealing. Or you're caught in the act of and I shoot you in the leg.
That's not. But it doesn't. The crime doesn't. I don't think that's fair.
Why?
That's too totalitarian.
Why?
I'm saying just give the people guns and let them figure it out. They'll figure it out. The problem is you
Fuck
still
around and find out?
You'll still have to let the person go through due trial for potential homicide for theft. But thefts just go down because people won't fuck around as much.
I think it'll take care of itself. Is my point.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you have to make it like legal because then people are going to find loopholes and murder people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It'll all balance out.
I don't necessarily want that to happen. But outside of that, that's kind of what I think. It's been a really, really interesting week. Super hectic. A lot has been going on.
Dude, too much.
I literally, when I'm in these meetings and it's super stressful. No, bro. When I'm in these meetings and it's super stressful, please don't break. This is
a sacred room.
This is a sacred place. Don't break anything in the sacred place. But my thought process is this: like during all those meetings, by the way, this week, my happy place, I was just imagining I was shooting my bow.
That's good.
That meeting that we were in, that everyone said I looked grumpy, I was just shooting my bow.
Who do you think said you looked grumpy?
I don't care because I don't get paid to care.
That's you. Is it little matey?
Why does work always try to find a way into my real job, bud?
Bro, yeah, because it's annoying. But that's okay. We also need to start doing some pods outside of this.
I think so. We have that bot now. We should get a trip. Okay, so here's what I think. Me and Dread Pirate, I want to do games.
Yes.
You do movie reviews, and then we all together do what we would call the triple pod.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. I think we need to do. I think that we need to really those projections. I can't be free in 5 years. I think if we up our game, we could be free in 1 to 2.
I think the answer is we call it all three of us all aboard.
All aboard. Fuck yeah. All aboard.
Set sail.
I think 3 is a party though. Any more than 3, I think that's too many people.
I think we could have 4, but I think 3 is solid.
Well, I think we can have 4 too.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if we have guests, we can have 2 guests available.
Yeah, of course. But anyways, yeah, just oh god.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Blackbeard just cried.
You made me cry. Well, I also have been working on. So when I worked overnights, I worked overnights at one point
At the Deep Blue.
In the Deep Blue, and I want you to know that me and work colleagues would try to see if we could like go full Sith, focus our pain, and see if we could cry and feel our emotions. So I was able to just like full on Will Smith cry on the spot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like full actor. I just what I do is I just think about how it makes me feel, and I don't like I push out all rationality. Really, it's actually not hard to cry on command if what you do is you just think about the pain, and your brain naturally wants to rationalize it. You just say the rationality is too overwhelming, even though it's not. That's what you need to focus on to make yourself cry. And so you push away the rationality, and you just let that pain take you.
That makes sense.
The natural body response is to cry. Unsure why we have evolved to be able to like crying is our response to being upset.
I don't cry.
Thanks.
I'm serious. Like, I just don't ever cry.
Last time I really cried was when my father passed.
I mean, that's a good reason to cry.
But I didn't think I was going to cry.
No, see, I have some fucked up morals. And what I mean by that is like, this is a true story that I'm going to throw out at you. When I was in high school, okay, my uncle died.
Uh-huh.
The same week, Robin Big got canceled. And when I found out...
That was supposed to be your outlet.
So, when my uncle died, I was like, oh, damn.
I just watched Robin Big.
No, I was just like, that's wild. And then I when the last episode of Robin Big aired, then I cried.
Is that because Big died, or they just got canceled?
So Big got a girl pregnant, and then they just ended the show. But I cried because of the show ending, and not because of my uncle.
But that's where you. Oh, so I have to say something. All my true pain comes out with television. I watched the Mandalorian season finale.
Yes, great. By the way,
when Grogu stops the force field,
yep,
I cried, and I wasn't like. It's just a TV. Like, I know it's fake, but I think like I've warped myself where the only way I can let my emotions out is through fiction.
That's fair. Do you know So, do you think they're going to make a season 4?
I don't know. I think I heard that Pedro Pascal was getting fired.
What do you mean he's getting fired?
That could just be hearsay.
I didn't hear about that.
All you got to do is get an AI to do his voice. He's never going to take the helmet off.
Yeah, he's not even the one under the helmet.
No, it's 2 other guys.
It's 2 other guys. Yeah. That's interesting. No, I know that they're going to make a movie.
They're doing like an Avengers.
Yeah, they're going to. So that after Ahsoka comes out, they're going to do a movie that's going to tie all of them together. I just don't know if they're going to do another season.
Ray Palpatine's coming back. Are you excited?
I am excited. That's fucking dope.
Fuck no, that's not dope.
Why?
You liked the sequel trilogy?
What's wrong with the sequel trilogy?
Are you gaslighting me?
No, so here's the deal. I actually am excited for those movies because I want that itch to be scratched. I haven't seen and here's the thing. I know Disney fucked up on the last trilogy, and let's be honest, I like The Force Awakens.
Why couldn't The Force Awakens was okay. The other 2 are terrible. Why couldn't they just make Snoke like an interesting character? I thought what he was going to be. This is what I thought about Snoke.
Please.
So I thought Snoke was going to be, obviously he's fucked up. I thought they were going to say he was through some mutation program, right? Excuse me. And that he was a cloned homunculus. Like he was a genetically designed being to allow Plagueis. Because remember how Plagueis was supposed to be infinite life.
Right.
He was supposed to be the guy he's been talked up in the prequel series, but we never actually got to see him, right? I wanted him to be Snoke and using Snoke as an avatar, right? Or as like a body. and it was a Sith spirit, and then we would understand why that guy made the clone army, because they kind of touched on it. A Jedi did go, but they never explained it. I thought they were going to full circle it, that Plagueis had that in the plans, and this was his plan from all along, and Sidious was a pawn. Then they made it like Sidious, but it devalues Darth Vader throwing him down the shaft.
Right. And
that just broke my heart, because you basically are spinning on the original trilogy.
So here's the thing.
Tell me, doesn't my version sound way more interesting?
Yes. I think the problem is a couple things. First, let's get into it. We're just going to go break down the new trilogy. Sure. So they did not write all three of them at the exact same time. They fucked up. They should have. Right then and there. They should have. Number two, I think Snoke should have just been the bad guy.
Snoke should have just been the bad guy.
Snoke should have just been the guy.
Kylo can still switch sides. That's fine.
No, exactly. Why did they bring back Palpatine?
Because they're not creative.
No, so that's the shit that pisses me off with the last movie is, first of all, they did that just to say Rey is a Palpatine, which is stupid. Rey should have been a Kenobi. It's as simple as that.
Oh, with the lady from the Clone War?
Yeah, no, she just should have been a Kenobi. I don't even care. Make new canon, whatever. Make it so that while old Ben was on Tatooine,
Mara Jade, it was Luke Skywalker's girl.
Right.
I thought it would have been better if it was Mara Jade. And it was Luke, and then when she met Luke, it was really that was her dad.
Right. So but just make it so that some girl on Tatooine hooked up with old Ben, and they had a baby.
What the fuck is her planet? It's literally just a copy of Tatooine.
Correct.
Carbon fucking copy.
Correct.
It would have actually been more interesting if it had you know what they could have done? They could have put fucking some trees on that planet, and it would have been like, oh, so it's more of like a tropical desert, with a little bit of water. That would have been cool. And then there's an oasis.
They did it to mirror the first.
Not creative. Not creative whatsoever.
I like I said, I like the Force Awakens. The problem is
terrible.
The problem is that the second one, Bryan Johnson was Professor Chaos, and he just went in and undid everything that JJ set up in the second one, and then JJ had to kind of try to fucking make it all make sense in the third one. But it's shenanigans. The third one is just shenanigans.
The second one, the guy who directed the second one directed
Bryan Johnson.
Yeah, he directed the Fly episode of Breaking Bad. One of the best episodes of Breaking Bad.
He's made a bunch of great stuff.
He's got some great stuff. How did he fuck this up? Do you think he was fighting with corporate the entire time? Do you think he just couldn't do it the way he wanted to do it?
It's very possible, but they didn't have a plan in place.
Look at the Snyder cut. When Snyder actually got Zack Snyder finally got to edit Justice League. It was a much better movie. But the problem is it was just a re-edit. They didn't get to shoot it. First of all, we have to talk about DC movies. Warner Brothers is fucking up DC.
Oh, bro, did you see the trailer for Blue Beetle? It's awful.
The problem is do you think that I think here's the problem with DC. The tone is completely off, and there's not one narrative.
No, the problem is
the
that
tone there's so much flux. It's all about making money.
Nobody cares about DC anymore.
I did think it was funny in the trailer where George Lopez goes, "Batman, he's a fascist."
Yeah.
And I laughed because
here's the thing. I should be so stoked about Blue Beetle because I read Blue Beetle when I was growing up.
Jaime is such a cool character.
Yeah, and I
always loved Blue Beetle because he was a newer superhero as we were kids.
Correct. He also is played by the guy from Cobra Kai.
Really?
Yeah. And so I like Cobra Kai a lot. There should be so many things, and I guarantee that movie's going to make no money.
That's tough. Shazam, I never saw it. I don't watch superhero movies.
The new Shazam movie?
Dogwater?
I never saw it, but it went straight to DVD after 3 weeks of being in theaters.
That's tough.
It lost so much money.
I want you to...
The director came out and said, I knew this was going to lose money.
But the problem is the tone is all different. The new Batman movie, is that in the same universe? What are they thinking? They're just wasting. They're wasting an opportunity to reset.
Well, James Gunn is good. They are resetting. James Gunn is taking over. He came out and announced
Are we getting Ben Fleck?
No, he's done.
He's done. Who's going to be the new Batman?
It's going to be a new Batman, I'm pretty sure.
Again?
Yep.
Oh, God.
But he came out with a whole lineup for the next 5 years, and it actually looked pretty decent.
I haven't seen the lineup.
The problem is, you should look it up, but the problem is that too little, too late. First of all, they should give it some time to breathe.
I truly believe, they should. I really honestly believe that superhero movies are going to phase out here in the next 10 years.
And I'm hoping, what I'm really hoping for is, have you've seen the trailer for the new Flash movie, right?
Dog water.
No, I actually am excited about this. It's hear me out.
What did Ezra Miller do?
He did a bunch of shit.
Like what?
He robbed people. He beat women. He did a bunch of shit.
Is he trans?
No,
he's gender fluid.
I don't think.
No,
he
came out and did all this whole Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh no, we're gonna be the trans hating podcast, bro.
I don't hate trans people. I'm just saying, is Ezra Miller transgender?
I don't think he is. Pretty sure he's beat my wife kind of person.
He doesn't. Oh no, he does. He's non-binary.
Oh, that's not real.
You just said we're the. Please.
We're gonna make sure to not edit this out. Leave it right in there.
You're so ridiculous. Yeah, no. Here's him wearing. Well, I'll just show you the picture. You make your own decision.
No.
I want you to know I'm so indifferent at this point. I think you know what I think it is. I think this, especially when it's coming from Hollywood, is it's so hard to capture the minds and mind of people now.
Yeah.
That the only way for you to basically stay is to do stuff like this where he wears a toad hat.
See, I love that. That's fun.
That is fun. Well, he's also wearing a skirt.
Oh, I didn't see the skirt. I don't.
Well, let me show you again.
But I like the hat.
You're part of the
He's
problem.
toad hat.
I'm just kidding. But I don't understand it. I think that really there's two cultures, and the culture war is only perpetuated through social media. And honestly, normal people are normal.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm normal.
I'm not.
We're normal.
I just pretend to be normal.
No, we're normal. Are you wearing a toad hat and a skirt?
No.
Not right now.
Not yet. Just give me 10 years.
If you did, I would still love you.
You know what? And that's all that really matters. We just need to love each other.
There it is. You know what? I think that's a great note to go out on.
We just need to love each other.
Everybody needs to love each other.
We don't need to respect each other.
Yeah.
We just need to love each other.
You know we're talking about you, Greg.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, all right, buddy. Let's wrap it up. What do you got for the people?
Guys, just we just hit 100. Yata. That was so weeb of me. Just comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'd love to just see the channel take off. That would be beautiful.
I would really like it if, let's say, where are we at right now? What's today? Today is April 28th. That's when this episode is getting recorded.
Don't do this to us.
By May 31st.
You motherfucker.
I would really like us to be at 250 subscribers. Let's see what the projection says we're going to be at.
Stop.
And then I would really like to just make my own projection. How about that?
You're silly. You're a silly goose.
Am I a silly goose? All right, let's take a look. Real quick.
Hondo.
All right, real quick. 100%. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I really enjoyed our 100 ships on a 100 ocean special.
It technically says in 3 days we'll be at 100 subscribers, so this website's a little off.
That's actually good news.
That's great news. It says in 40 days, which is June 8th, we'll be at 250. So I want to break that and say by May 31st, we'll be at 250.
Let's do it, buddy.
Let's go. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for please like, comment, subscribe.
You can send us an email at
thepiratepodcastchannel@gmail.com.
Pirates out.
All right. Later, everyone.